Being a freshman in the SEC is no easy task, but cornerback Josh Holsey is up for the challenge.
Shotgun for Mettenberger. Wants to throw. He's just going to unload it deep down the field, and it is tipped away, incomplete at the goal line. Josh Holsey.
Because he grew up in a military family.
I got all of the discipline. I knew right from wrong. I knew if I messed up, I was going to get punished for it.
For me, it's always about discipline and always, like I was telling, be a man of your word. That's one thing I've always teach people, you know. If you say something, someone's going to always take you for your word. So always be, stand fast on what you say. So when you say something to someone, they're going to always believe that, because that means you have integrity, and integrity is very important.
I decided to get out of the military so that he would not have to be a military brat and travel the country. So we made a decision that one of us would get out, and that was me, so that I could stay at home. So he didn't really have to travel all over the world. You know, he knew his dad was gone a lot.
Through my tenure, I've actually been at Fort Knox. I've been Korea, been stationed in Alexandria, D.C., and like right now, currently being stationed in Shape, Belgium.
In November of 2004, Josh's dad, Jonathan, was stationed in Iraq.
I was in Iraq. I was actually in Ramadi, Iraq, when I was injured. I was on a convoy, and an IED went off on the side of the road that actually caused me to lose the lower part of my left leg.
I was there when the doctor told my dad that we might have the best option would be for him to amputate his leg. But matter of fact, when the doctor came in, my mom made me get out because she didn't want me to know what was going on. All I knew was that he was hurt. But they made me get out. And when I got out, I heard my dad start crying when they told him the news, and I heard him start crying. But when I got back in, I just went in and gave him a hug because I didn't know what else to do. It was hard at first because I have never seen my dad he was kind of struggling at first. He didn't know how to take it at first, so it was hard for me because that was my role model growing up. After my dad had his leg amputated, he taught himself how to get back on there, how to get back out there and run. I was with him when we went down the mountains. We were snowboarding together. We went skiing together. It's a million things my dad knew he's taught himself how to do now with one leg and a prosthetic than what some people probably haven't did with two regular legs. So he's just been pushing himself to just keep doing the extra. It's like he's doing everything he wanted to do now before he even got hurt. So skiing, running, he's still pretty fast too. He could keep up with me with the amputated leg, so it's pretty cool though.
Him just seeing me always trying to go after things. I can always think about the first time I ran against him, and he thought I was gonna be a little slower than I actually was, and so he's like, "Oh, Dad, I'm not gonna give you a head start again," you know. So to me, it's like, okay, you know, I think he just always looks at me and just always, you know, to him, he didn't look at me as not being able to do something, you know. He didn't always see that. I don't think he sees the prosthetic. He just sees Daddy, and you know, the prosthetic is just a part of who I am.
So seeing him, do that, persevere through them hard times and the struggles, it helped me to become a better person who I am today. So I watched him just fight through everything. I never seen my dad back down from anything.
I think a lot of times people have to realize that what I've gone through, he's had to go through with me. You know, it's things as family. His mom, they've always been there for me. So all the things I've had to overcome and all the things I've had to empower myself to do, a lot of those things have come from strength from my family, from my friends, and my family has been a big support of that. You know, my son, watching him doing the things he has to do, even on days where I may not want to get up, you know, I was like, you know, let me get up and go watch him games, or, you know, his mom just being there to support me through all I've had to overcome. So, you know, that's a big point. That's what makes us who we are. That's what makes us, you know, the family we are sometimes, that we kind of support each other even on those good days, those bad days, just keep going.
Even though Jonathan is stationed 4,000 miles away, he gets to as many games as he can.
I think the first game I actually came to was the LSU game. That was the first game I came to. And inside, when I was actually sitting him, and when he first walked on the field, to me, that was one of the proudest moments of my life. You know, just being able to see him do something in his life that he wanted to do. You know, this was his goal. This is his ambitions. And the fact that he's been able to do this and be able to do things that he's wanted to do all his life, to me, I couldn't have been just a prouder moment in my life. And
I know I'm making them proud, and that's my whole goal, just to get here, get an education, and just to keep my family happy at all times.
This week, Jonathan unveiled a new way of showing off his Auburn spirit.
My leg, my War Eagle leg. So of course I got that done this week in representation of my son and him being here and him just, you know, making us proud of what he's trying to accomplish.
I mean, I love to see when people like recognize them for what they're actually doing. It's great, and it's just so happy he got to come back on that weekend. So I was happy for him. I knew he really felt the love from all the people. He told me he got a lot of love, and a lot of people was coming up to him, congratulating him and everything. So I'm proud of him.